Hey Clashers, since the 10.15 update dropped, a lot of people are struggling in clan wars, and stats like those are really common. While one clan is 0 3-stars out of 19 attempts, the other clan is 1 3-star out of 15 attempts. I will show you in this video how to abuse one of the strongest spells in the game, the lightning spell, to get some more 3-stars, because at the moment, as you can see over here, a couple of 3-stars is already enough to win the majority of clan wars, as we have another live defense. Oh, maybe they get a second star now on me, but that's not what we're going to take a look at. We want to jump into some attacks and take a look at some offensive hits. But before that, if you're thinking about buying any of those offers, for example, or overall anything from the shop, make sure to use a credit code. And if you would like to support videos like these, make sure to use code iTzu. Thank you so much for that. And now let's jump into some live attacks, and I will show you exactly how to use this OP spell. Okay, so let's take a look at our first example, because so many times you are going to see bases which have a lot of stacked defenses behind the town hall. This could be any design. If it's a box base, if it's a diamond shaped base like this, if it's an anti-3-star base, it does not matter. It's all about having a lot of value behind the town hall. So you want to use the lightnings for that. Before we're doing that, always start with the warden, because this gives you some bonus time, kinda, which you do not want to waste. So over there, then the healer's behind. So I think for now, that's already fine. The next thing is, if there's buildings 2 tiles apart from each other, like diagonal, you can still take them out. And that's the cool thing. So let's do exactly that with this setup. So let's do the earthquake first. Like, I think this should work. Then the lightnings to take down everything here. And you can see everything is done. Really, really good. Now prepare the siege machine, which is the flame flinger. It's just so powerful to then follow things up for this strategy. Make sure that you're not running into giant bombs or traps. And with that, flame flinger can be placed and take down the town hall eventually. At the same time, we have to be careful with that warden. I would just rage that. Oh no. Okay, warden ability wasted. But we have learned already in earlier videos that the warden ability is nice to have, but not mandatory. So let's do exactly that. So now warden has finished his warden walk, ice golem, titans in, super bowl is in. Things are looking pretty good, I would say. But let's try to get further into this base. We have to jump to get really far into this base. That's nice. King funneling the outside exactly as we wanted. And then the tunnel should go down at the same time. With all of the flame flinger power. So far so good. King now. We can use that headhunter. Rage up the healers in just a second. Come on, healers, follow. Warden ability. Unfortunately, we don't have that anymore. But I think it should be still fine. In the core would be great. But at the moment, funneling is looking pretty good. Royal Champ now to support everything. We don't have our Titans apparently left anymore. This kind of sucks, to be honest. This really sucks. But let's see if our heroes now have the power to finish things off. We can still use a couple of runes for the back end. Archer already. Town hall should go down eventually. Now the Royal Champ ability for the scatter shot. We can use a baby dragon in a second as well. And we can use some queen ability in just a second for the defending king. So it should be doable. Let's see if we can actually make it work. Queen ability now. King is in the single firmament tower. Unfortunately, we still have the power. Remember, we still have the power from the siege machine troops later. That's a nice thing to have. Diggy is transferring over. We need to be careful with time. This is a really big important factor. So let's try to wall break in here. Maybe wall break again. Time is ticking, but we might be able to still get this done in time. So 20 seconds, nothing in the corners. I was just double checking. Yeti and Titan on the other side are doing a great job. We can add the minion, not doing too much, unfortunately. Now we have 10 seconds. Can we finish this off in 10 seconds with the scatter shot? Hopefully going down. Yes, that's looking decent. 3, 2, 1, and with the swag warden ability, that's how it's done. Yeah, we lost a lot of troops in the beginning. I did not 100% pay attention to my warden. It's always hard to talk and at the same time attack, but I hope I was able to showcase the power which you can have with having value zap-wise, lightning-wise behind the town hall. And trust me, yes, not every single base has this value behind the town hall, but in a clan war like this, where you're spitting with like 10, 15, 20 people in your clan, you will most of the time find at least 1, 2, or even 3 bases where you find this value. And it's important then to 3-star those because you have seen the stats in the beginning, 1 or maybe even 0 3-stars. And if you then can take those out, those bases, this is crucial. The next strategy you can force pretty successfully on pretty much any base which is running not a double poison tower. If you find even a base with double non-poison towers and single inferno towers, this is the prime example to attack with this strategy. What you're going to do is take down the scatter shots with your lightnings and then coming from the other side of the town hall with the lock launcher, or in my case the wall wrecker. I will explain why the wall wrecker in just a second, but we have to get started, otherwise time might be an issue. So like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. One more. Nice. Okay, this was too slow. I should do that quicker. On this side, it has worked. Okay, so already a little bit problems, but we have learned in that last attack, it's not the end of the world. So now wall breaking at the corners. I will use a golem there because I feel like that's better tanking. Now the king down here, ice golem, and then the witches on the outside. The wall wrecker at the bottom side. Now you might wonder, it's why exactly do you use a wall wrecker? Well, the main reason why I use a wall wrecker is pretty simple, to be honest. I am not really confident that I get into the tunnel compartment with the lock launcher. I feel like maybe the lock launcher is not getting far enough, or overall I'm just not confident about that. So instead I will use the wall wrecker because you can see it's quite tanky. It can nicely tank overall, and at the same time it is, well, really consistent opening those walls on the back end. Let's now use the headhunter on the left side. Maybe now the warden ability if the warden is for warden. Okay, this has now not worked because my warden is just not following. Okay, that's not a bit problem. Okay, now he's following. Okay, that's interesting, but should be still alright, okay? So with that king, we hopefully get further into the core. Remember though, it's not the end of the world with not getting all of the witches into the core. It's actually good for you, okay? It's actually a really nice thing for you to happen. Again, we have those ice golems tanking nicely. We still have the warning ability, which we can use in a second to take down the tunnel, because as soon as the tunnel is going down, we should be pretty good to go. Nice. I did not cover the king. Okay, let's ignore that. But as long as the core is going down, which is that town hall, we're looking good to 3-star this base, because take a look at the left and the right. All of those witches are coming in. That's pretty crazy. Queen ability now. Let's take down all of those buildings next. Queen ability nicely done. And now we can use the, I think the royal champ on the left, because there's so many witches about to go down versus this wizard tower. So instead, we should be able to take everything around that out. Royal champ ability early, so we get quick access to the single inferno tower. And with that, we should be able to clear things out, right? Take a look at all of those witches. Take a look at all of those witches at the top side. They are just smashing those wizard towers like it's nothing. It's crazy. Of that, another 3-star for us. Yes, again, I know not every base is not running multi-inferno towers and running a double rage. But remember, again, it is not about that you can force this strategy on every single base. On Town Hall 15, it is different to Town Hall 14, where you can force any strategy on any base. On Town Hall 15, if you want to have an easier job, it is all about identifying the best base for your strategy. And if you want to use the OP lightnings, then this is something which you can really nicely do. But I have one more example for you, so let's take a look at that one. And again, we have a base with lightning value behind the town hall. This one though is different. Why exactly is this different? This is so important to note. So on this one, we see the monolith being maxed out. At the same time, we want to activate the tunnel with the earthquake. So we could do that. We could hit the monolith and the tunnel at the same time with the earthquake. The problem though is with the monolith, as soon as the builder hut is repairing the monolith, the lightning is not going to work. This is something really, really important to know. Otherwise, your lightnings won't work. So you have to hit the closest builder hut with the earthquake as well, or at least a building which is then closer to the builder hut than actually the monolith. For this one, it is this builder hut. So I need to hit the invisibility tower to make this work. And this is giving us a couple of problems. We have to do it now, otherwise the explodes are going to lock on our warden. So let's do that quickly. Perfect. Everything taken care of. Now the thing is, we have not activated this one. So what we're doing now instead is, well, tanking with the loon and using a skeleton then to activate that town hall, hopefully. This is obviously another spell invested, but it's really worth it to make sure that you're getting the value you're looking for. Now the Flame Flinger for the Town Hall, exactly as usual. Wall break in at the flank because we are going away from the Town Hall. And then, in just a second, the Queen to lure the Warden over. Then the Ice Golem, then the Titans, the Bowlers, everything in there. So, now that, let's wall break in there. Everything so far looking pretty good. Another wall break in there. King is funneling the outside nicely. Everything looking really good for us. Now let's rage things up. Another rage there. Another headhunter there. Then hopefully the healers and the warden are going to follow. Come on, come on. Follow, follow, follow. Is he following? I'm not really sure right now. Yes, now he's following. Warden ability. Perfect. Wizard on the outside. We can add the Royal Champion. Use the jump into the back end of the space. And then just keep smashing buildings left and right. This is exactly what we're going to do. At the same time, the Town Hall is going down. That's again the setup you're looking for. Next rage, make sure with this rage, hit the healers that they're going in there, because well, non-rage up healers are not as powerful as you might know. The King with the Phoenix is tanking nicely. It's obviously a huge power boost, but you can use the Yak as well in a really nice way. You can use a lot of different pets, but I guess I would recommend the Yak if you don't have the Phoenix. And for us, we can already play some back-end troops. Let's wall break the troops again out. And with that, the wizards are cleaning up the top side. Our Flinger has finally got the Town Hall. You can see as well again already. It's another nice 3-star. But this trick with the monolith, you have to know that. Otherwise, you might end up not getting the monolith. And with the monolith not going down, you have a huge problem, okay? So always be careful with builder huts like around the maxed out monolith. This is only happening when you're facing a maxed out monolith. Otherwise, a non-maxed out monolith is not as important. And with those attacks, you can just take a look back at the overview of the match. And we have changed the match with just a couple of our attacks. I have done now the majority of attacks. I have failed once because I was talking too much, and I've maybe failed some lightnings. I wouldn't say that, but no, but like by our seriousness, we have now 3-star out of 6 attack 5 times, and the entire match is completely one-sided now. And this is exactly how you play on Town Hall 15, especially if you're not a pro. And I know the majority of clashes out there are not pro players, so make sure that you're picking your bases carefully. And for the others then who might not end up with bases where you can abuse the lightning, I will show you hopefully in another video, another strategy which you then can abuse to get more 3-stars in your clan wars. But for now, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure that you remember lightnings are OP. Thank you, and until tomorrow, see ya and bye bye.